Hello, welcome all. Today I am discussing about working capital management in financial management. Okay, let's start our class. Before going to working capital management, we want to know about working capital. Okay, let's see what is working capital. Working capital is the amount of fund necessary to cover the cost of operating the enterprises. It is the capital required for the day-to-day working of an enterprises. The examples are purchase of raw material, advertising expenses, expenses on salary, wages, rent, etc. are such day-to-day expenditure in the business organization. For meeting such expenditure, the firm requires short-term fund. Such a fund we can call working capital. Okay. Working capital is also called operating capital, liquid capital, floating capital, revolving capital, circulating capital, and short-term capital. Why working capital is called revolving or circulating or floating capital? Because in business enterprises, cash is converted into raw material. Raw material into work in progress. Work in progress is converted into finished goods. Finished goods into book debts and bills receivables. And the bills receivable converted into cash. Thus, the amount goes on circulating or revolving from cash to current asset and current asset to cash. That is why working capital is also called circulating capital, revolving capital, or floating capital. So, working capital is the difference between inflow and outflow of fund. It is the net cash inflow in the business organization. Okay. Then our next term is concept of working capital. There are mainly two concepts of working capital. First one is balance sheet concept of working capital. Second one is operating cycle or circular flow concept of working capital. Let's see what is balance sheet concept of working capital. Under balance sheet concept of working capital, the working capital is classified into two. The first one is gross working capital. The second one is net working capital. Under gross concept of working capital, it refers to the amount of fund invested in current asset. What is? It is the amount of fund invested in current asset. Thus, working capital is equal to current asset. According to net concept of working capital, it refers to excess of current asset over current liability. Excess of current asset over current liability. Here, working capital is equal to current asset minus current liability. Okay, the net concept is a qualitative concept. The net concept is a qualitative concept and the gross concept is a quantitative concept. Here, net working capital can be positive or negative. When the current asset exceeds the current liability, it is called positive working capital. When the current liabilities exceeds current asset, it is called negative working capital. Okay, this is the first concept of working capital, that is balance sheet concept of working capital. Then second one, that is operating cycle or circular flow concept of working capital. Here I already stated that working capital is in circulating form of fund that current asset keep revolving, converted into cash, and the cash flow again in exchange of other current asset. So it is called revolving or circulating capital. So these are the two concepts of working capital. Okay. Move on to the next topic, that is types of working capital. There are different kinds of working capital is there, such as permanent working capital, variable working capital, seasonal working capital, initial working capital, regular working capital, and special working capital. Let's see one by one. Okay, the first one is permanent working capital. In business organization, always maintain a minimum amount of working capital, which is continuously required by the business enterprise to carry out its normal business operation. This working capital is called permanent working capital. It is also called fixed working capital. It ensures effective utilization of current asset and support the normal operation of the business. It is the part of capital which is permanently blocked in current asset. Okay, this is the permanent working capital. This is also maintain a minimum amount of working capital in the business organization, that is fixed by the organization, permanently blocked by the organization. That is called permanent working capital. Okay, the second one is variable working capital. What is variable working capital? Any amount over and above the permanent working capital is variable working capital. Variable working capital is also called temporary working capital. What is temporary working capital? Which is varies with the volume of business. The temporary working capital or variable working capital varies with the volume changes of the business. This is the additional capital needed to meet a seasonal or special needs in the business organization. Okay, it is needed when the demand is increased, when the special needs is occur. At that times, such working capital is needed. Okay, this is a variable working capital. The next one is seasonal working capital. What is seasonal working capital? It is the working capital which is needed to meet the seasonal needs of the business organization. It refers to the additional working capital required during the busy seasons. Okay. The next one is initial working capital. Under this working capital which is needed in the initial stages in the business. Initial stages, commencement stages is called initial working capital. It is the capital required when the project is commenced. The starting stages, the capital is required. Such capital is called initial working capital. The another type of working capital is regular working capital. Under this, the amount is needed for continuous operation of the business. It is the minimum amount of the liquid capital to keep up the capital circulating from cash to inventories to receivables and back again to cash. It is the minimum amount keep into the business organization. It is for the continuous operation of the business. Such a working capital we can call regular working capital. Okay. The next one is special working capital. Special working capital refers to the extra working capital to be maintained to finance special operations. It is maintained to meet unforeseen contingency or to special operations in the business organization. Okay students, these are the important types of working capital. Once again, the first one is permanent working capital. The second one is variable working capital. The third one is initial working capital. The next one is seasonal working capital. Then regular working capital. Then last one, special working capital. Okay, our next topic is advantages or importance of working capital. What are the advantages of working capital? Then why the working capital is required in the business organization? What is its importance? Let's see what are the importance or what are the advantages of working capital. Suppose a business has been established by investing money in the fixed asset. But for the running of that business, there is no money in the working capital. What will happen? The business cannot function. Thus, the working capital's life is a lifeblood of a business. Both excessive and inadequacy of working capital position are harmful to the business. That is, excessive we can result that idle fund on which no profit is earned. Suppose insufficiency of working capital results in interruption of the production and adversely affect the profit of the firm. So, maintaining an adequate working capital is one of the important function of every business organization. Okay, so the adequate working capital requirements is very important in every business organization. There are many advantages of working capital. What are they? First one is solvency of the business. Adequate working capital helps to meet day-to-day operations of business, and it also helps smooth running or smooth functioning of that business. The next one is goodwill. It creates goodwill of that firm. as a business concern is able to make prompt payment of its obligations. It will help to create and maintain the goodwill of a firm. The next one, easy loan. A firm having adequate working capital is considered favorably by bank and financial institutions, thus making it easy for it to get a credit or loans to the business. The next one is cash discount. The firm can avail the cash discount facilities offered by the suppliers. Then regular supply of raw materials. It ensures regular supply of raw material and continuous production in the business. Then ability to face crisis. It is possible to meet unseen contingency and successfully sail through that periods of crisis. The next one is high morale. It improves the morale of the executives and create good relationship between them. The next one is quick and regular return on investment. It increases the profitability of the business and quick and regular return on the investment in business. So these are the importance and advantages of adequate working capital in the business organization. First of all, solvency of the business, goodwill, easy loan, cash discount, regular supply of raw material, ability to face crisis, high morale, quick and regular return on investment. Okay, students, let's move other topic, that is factors affecting working capital. What are the factors affected the working capital of the organization? Some of the factors is the first one is nature of business. The manufacturing and trading concern require more amount of working capital because they have to invest heavily in the inventories and debtors. And some of the concerns require less amount of working capital. So, nature of business concerns affect the working capital requirement of the firm. Trading concern and manufacturing concerns require more working capital. Other type of concerns require less working capital. Okay. The second one is the size of the business. In case of large business concern, require to maintain huge working capital. Small and medium size of organization require less working capital comparing to the large organization. So the size of the business one of the factor that will affect the requirement of working capital. The next one is production policy. Working capital requirements are also influenced by the company policies such as dividend policy, depreciation, etc. The next one is manufacturing process. The efficient utilization of a firm's resources by reducing waste and improving coordination control that will reduce the cost of manufacturing. The next one is seasonal variation. The working capital requirement varies with different market condition and demand in different seasons. More working capital will be needed at the time of crop and manufacturing season, and less working capital is required while the off seasons. Okay. The next one is credit policy. It relates to the purchasing and selling of goods on credit basis. If a firm purchases all goods or services on credit and sells on a cash basis, the firm need very low amount of working capital. But if a firm purchases on cash basis and sells on credit basis, a large amount of working capital is required for uninterrupted operations. Okay, the next factor is rate of growth of business. Rate of growth of business. A growing concern needs more working capital to finance its increasing activities and expansion. But working capital requirements are less or low in case of static concerns. Okay, the last one is price level changes. If the cost of raw material is larger of the total cost of finished product, working capital required will be large. And the price is larger, it will require less amount of working capital, and the price is lower, it require large amount of working capital. Okay, these are the factors that influence when the working capital requirements. Nature of business, size of business, production policy, manufacturing process, seasonal variation, credit policy, rate of growth of business, the last price level changes. Okay, students, hope you understood what are the factors affecting working capital requirements. Next, our topic is principles of working capital. There are some principles. What are they? Principles of risk variation, principles of cost of capital, principles of equity position. The last one, principles of maturity payment. What is principle of risk variation? Here, risk refers to the inability of a firm to maintain adequate current asset to pay off its obligations. When the degree of risk is increases, the opportunity for gain and loss also increases. If the level of working capital increases, the amount of risk decreases. This affects the opportunity for gain or loss. Okay. The second one is principles of cost of capital. Different sources of finance have different cost of capital. If the risk is higher, the cost is lower. And the risk is lower, the cost is higher. The additional risk capital result, it's in the decline in the cost of capitals. Okay, the next one is principles of equity position. Principles of equity position. What is that? According to this principle, the amount of working capital invested in each component should be adequately justified by a firm's equity positions. Okay, working capital should contribute to the worth or value of the firms. The last one is principles of maturity payment. This means the cash flow should be sufficient to meet cash outflow. This facilitates the timely payment of the short-term debts. That is maturity of payment. Okay, students, this is all about the working capital, the chapter. And I hope you all are understood the term working capital and its related terms. Thank you for your valuable listening. Thank you. Thank you very much.